Hi everyone, welcome to another installment of our State of Platform online session series. Over the past weeks, we announced a series of updates, upgrades, new technologies added to Chili GraFx, our platform. I'm here with Wart Lange, our Chief Product Officer. Hey Wart.
Hey Kees, thanks for hosting this again.
My pleasure. Over the coming 20-25 minutes, we'll review the main highlights of what was released. Can you give a quick overview of the content?
Yeah, sure. I think the main takeaway of the last releases over the past couple of weeks is that GraFx Studio templates have now become even more responsive and dynamic. We've introduced concepts like AI, resizing, which basically means that from one template we can go to many more versions than ever before.
Okay. I know that in AI resizing and making our smart templates more dynamic, there's a number of different technologies that were added. What is the main problem that we're trying to solve with those advancements?
Well, there's two problems basically. We see that with solutions that we see in the market, typically they're basically choosing a template based on the content. So depending on the specific size that is required, depending on the length of the content, so for example, linked to languages, they will pick a template that fits. A template that has one line of text, two lines of text, three lines of text, one product, two product, three products. If it's specific sizes, they have a template for each size. We can now combine that all into one and just make the template respond to the data that comes in. And that data could then come from a data source, or it could be a human that is interacting with that template.
Okay, so that means you have fewer templates.
A lot fewer templates.
And the ones that you have respond to the content that we want to put into the templates.
Indeed.
With all the technologies, it does sound quite sophisticated. So I can imagine as a smart template designer, that can be a bit impressive. But what's the impact on the designers?
That's the whole point of the new concepts that we've introduced. They are super easy to set up. You don't need to be a developer. As a designer, it looks very familiar to the tools you're used to. And you could even start in the tools you're used to. We also upgraded or revamped our InDesign plugin. So now with the new UX, it's super easy to import a design from the InDesign, from the desktop world, also into Studio to continue adding those rules and logic in Studio.
Okay.
Maybe we can start there and see how easy it is to import a design and bring it over to Studio where we can make it responsive and dynamic.
Cool. Let's go to Raf. As usual, he's in the studio. He'll show the main highlights of the release. First up, InDesign to Chili GraFx. Over to you, Raf.
Thanks, guys. For today's demo, we pretend to be a fast food brand. We're running a multi-channel campaign to promote special deals in our mobile app. We want to enable the marketing department to create and distribute materials effortlessly. Let me show you how to do this. So this is an ad we created in Adobe InDesign, and we're going to turn it into a dynamic smart template in GraFx Studio. First things first, let's open the InDesign plugin and export this design to GraFx Studio. Adobe InDesign is a professional tool, mainly used to design print materials. Because of that print focus, InDesign comes with print-specific features like CMYK colors, spot colors, and vector elements. When we move to Chili GraFx, we want to preserve all of that information. As you can see, the InDesign plugin is really easy to use. It scans your document for potential conversion issues and makes decisions on how to handle them. If you agree with these suggestions, it's as easy as pressing the Convert button to export and continue your template designer journey in GraFx Studio. As you can see, we didn't lose any significant information in the conversion process. Color definitions, fonts, paragraph, and character styles are all nicely imported into GraFx Studio.
Right, that was easy. Now we take it from InDesign to GraFx Studio. You talked about turning it into something dynamic and responsive. Where do we go from here?
Well, there's a couple of things we want to do. We want to typically add different sizes to our template. And sometimes we can predict those sizes. We know them if we do socials, for example. These are predefined formats. But there's also other use cases. Let's say a vinyl window sticker. We don't know the window size up front, so we want to make that template resizable, responsive to a different size request. And the second thing we want to do is, depending on the content that is coming in, we might want to adapt our design. Today we're working with one headline. Tomorrow we might have two lines of text there. Today we work with one product. Tomorrow we want to work with three products or a combination of products. So we want to build a template that can respond to the different types of content that are coming in. So again, if we look at typical template solutions, you would, based on that content, pick a different template. Here, based on the content, the template is going to adapt. And then you have two ways to do that, basically. If you look at text content coming in, that depends a bit on your brand guidelines. So either we're going to let the text shrink or grow to fill up the available space, or we are going to place the text as is, and we let the design adapt to that new situation.
Right. It's all automated. There's no designer human involved.
Exactly. So
Right.
the only thing the designer does is the designer defines the boundaries.
Right.
Designer is going to say, if we're going to shrink text, this is the smallest font size that is allowed. Or if we're going to grow, the opposite, of course. So the designer configures those rules, but then everything else is handled in an automated way.
Right. Okay. So you put many different variants in one template. You talked about from an Instagram visual to a window sticker for Lord knows how big a window. You talked about how it will respond to different sizes of copy, of other variable elements in the template. How do we make sure that it actually behaves in the right way for all those different scenarios that we're kind of preparing for?
Well, it's the beauty of a tool like GraFx Studio. There's only one way to build templates, and these templates can then be used in different scenarios. And we can also run those scenarios ahead of production time. So we have a design and run mode. We can switch to the run mode. We can test it there safely without damaging or potentially breaking our templates. And then once we're satisfied, there's two ways to use it. Either we're going to give it in the hands of non-graphically skilled users like a marketeer or a store manager. So we're basically empowering the entire organization to work with these templates, or we're going to connect it to data, and we run headless production of graphics, so without any human interaction.
Okay, let's have a look at the first scenario first, where we want to enable the organization with ready to go, tested, validated templates. Over to Raf. Take it away, Raf.
Thanks, guys. All right, so now let's select different presets for our channels. Let's start with social media, then let's go with display ads, and finish with outdoor advertising. Let me show you the power of smart anchoring. Okay, so first, we're going to select a few different aspect ratios. Here we'll go with a mix of socials, display, and outdoor. Then we're going to show GraFx Studio how we want our objects to be displayed for each of them. And now we can select sizes from a lot more presets. And because of anchoring, auto grow, and copy feeding, everything is rearranged exactly the way we intended. So that's super quick and super easy. This anchoring remains an active feature also during any editing or adjusting for versions with longer copy, larger product shots, etc. The anchoring, auto grow, and copy feeding ensure that the result is a correct derivative of the original design. As you can see, our content is not adjusting to the template, but rather the other way around. The template is accommodating the content, and that's exactly how it should be. Next, since we're going multi-channel, we're going to customize our design according to placements. First, we're going to add a QR code on all of the out-of-home layouts, and then we'll also add animations on social ads and digital out-of-home. Okay, so the design is customized for each channel. Now is a good time to make it dynamic by linking it to data. So I'll start with the product and product name. And by using the connector hub, I can link this to a DAM. On our connector hub, you can browse the available connectors, and once deployed, these become available in GraFx Studio. In the environment I'm currently working in, I have the choice between Acquia DAM, Cadenza, and Sidecore. But any DAM system can be plugged in here. Now when I switch the product name updates automatically. I've also set up a number variable with a $sign as a prefix, so I can just enter a number and the currency is added automatically. Now I'm going to add some logic to the template, and I'm going to ask GraFx Genie, or AI Assistant, to help with that. So I'll start by creating a drop-down list with all my sizes, and then ask GraFx Genie to display the layout selected. That's done. I'm going to add a toggle that I'll rename NutriCheck, and ask GraFx Genie to show the NutriCheck logo whenever the toggle is on. Let's also add a green color and ask GraFx Genie to switch the circle color from yellow to green where the NutriCheck logo is displayed. So this is the really cool thing about using AI, because it goes beyond the features. You can just come up with something and ask GraFx Genie to just make it for you, and it will. Okay, so now that I'm done, I'm just going to test the template in run mode to make sure everything runs smoothly before making it available to end users. Remember, one way to scale graphics production is to enable ordinary users, so not designers, to interact with this dynamic template. We want to empower them, but stay in control. In run mode, we can test the interface these users will be working with when interacting with our template. Let's select different layouts. Let's go with a vertical, now a leaderboard for display, and let's say a poster. All good. Next, let's check the product image. And the NutriCheck logo and circle color also update. Next, I'm going to create a collection for the marketing department and make it accessible to them. You can take this user interface out of the box and offer it to your users like this, or you can integrate it into your brand portal, creative services portal, or any other hub that you run for local teams and users. When they open it, they'll be able to create multiple variations according to placements and all kinds of targeting, whether that's a digital display next to a grocery store or a busy street, advertise in magazines, serve display ads to health-conscious audiences, or retarget existing customers or followers on socials. There's just so many options from this one template, and it was super easy to make. Guys, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Raf. Like we said, 2 scenarios. First scenario, Raf just showed, we put templates, dynamic templates in the hands of non-designer end users, allowing them to produce assets. Second scenario you mentioned is we connect data to the smart template to generate assets with no human intervention.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on that one?
Yes, and actually we have some news there. Because in the past we've already introduced the concept of a connector hub, and we introduced media connectors there, so you could pull in assets from a digital asset management system into your template. Now we're introducing the concept of data connectors, and we are about to release a first data connector, which is the Google Sheets connector, so enabling you to get data from Google Sheets in a batch process for graphics production. And of course, down the line, you will see new connectors appearing, making it possible to directly connect to your PIM system, for example, your CDP, to your CRM, because typically you will want to combine product information with customer information to run targeted, personalized or customized campaigns.
Right, and we're going to have a look at how Raf is building that for a direct mailing campaign. That will be a 2-pager with a front and a back.
Yeah, indeed, front and back. You're correct. GraFx Studio now also supports multi-page scenarios, so we're no longer tied to one page actually.
Right, and multi-page means front and back, or can we do a brochure moving forward?
You can do things like brochures going forward.
Okay, interesting. Just there in the end, Raf, over to you. Let's build this direct mailing piece, show multi-page, show the data connector, and see what that does.
All right, guys. So let's look at a super customized piece of direct mail. So the goal is to allow franchisees to offer special deals to customers in their territory and boost sales, while at the same time developing their following on socials and driving mobile app downloads. So let's have a look. So we've created this template, and as you can see, there's a whole lot going on here. We've got a headline and a CTA up top. On the left, we've got coupons they can redeem at the restaurants, including a deal, an item, coupon code, expiry date, and conditions. Then we've got more local customization options. Let's start at the top. We've got the QR code linking to the restaurant's Facebook page, as well as the restaurant location, namely the city or town, and street address. Below that, we've got the recipient's name and full address. And last but not least, we've added a QR code up top linking to the app download page on stores. Obviously, we added variables for all of the above and used a couple of tricks to make things easier. Since we're targeting different customers based on demographics, we made sure to use auto-grow in the claim so that we could change the text and still keep it as visible as possible using the same font size. Second, we also linked all conditions to the same variable so that we would be able to update them all at once. And third, we've used GraFx Genie to generate a QR code linking to the restaurant's Facebook page based on the street address. Our connector hub doesn't only allow you to choose between media connectors, we recently introduced a new type of connector, data connectors. With data connectors, you build live bridges between GraFx Studio and external data sources, like your PIM, CRM, or CDP. That's a surefire way to push your personalization game to the next level, all within our GraFx Studio user interface. So let's pick the Google Sheet data connector, for example, and link a dataset to this template. The data becomes available in the template and can be used to customize the headline, CTA, deals, items, coupon codes, expiry dates, conditions, Facebook page link, local restaurant address, as well as the recipient's information. So are you ready to accelerate your direct mailing projects? It's really that easy. Keith, Ward, back to you.
Okay, we're back. That's a lot. We showed all the recent updates to Chili GraFx. I can imagine as an audience, that's a lot to play around with. If you're curious and you want to get your hands on Chili GraFx in all the stuff you just saw, please don't be shy. Reach out, request a Chili GraFx discovery environment. We have them ready for you, so we can assign them. You can get in and get your hands dirty with this content and see how you like it. For now, we reached the end of the session. Wart, thanks for your explanations.
Yep, thank you, Kees, and thanks, Raf.
Yeah, thanks, Raf. To our audience, let us know if you want to move forward and try this stuff out. And until next time, State of Platform online session. Thank you.